Feathers fall, but the sky won't care. Red and blue banners in the same stale air. Truth's a shadow you can't hold. It slips like sand, it's bought and sold. Left wing, right wing, same old bird. Chirping lies that we've all heard. Flying circles, never higher. Two sides feeding the same fire. They preach in suits, they howl in ties. Behind the mask, the same disguise. Promises crumble like a brittle stone. The stage is packed, but we're alone. What's the cost of hope's decay when every side feels the same gray? Left wing, right wing, same old bird. Curbing lies that we've all heard. Flying circles, never higher. Two sides feeding the same fire. They draw the lines, we take the bait. We fight each other while they orchestrate a cage with bars we cannot see, built by their false dichotomy. They got caught of me.
Hello, hello. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day, and I hope you are having a wonderful start to your morning, I suppose, depending on where you're at. I guess. It is 12:21 a.m. I would have started a little bit sooner, but I joined Joey for his gaming roundtable, which was very fun, very very interesting show. I highly recommend it. Joey will be joining us here shortly. I felt it was important to have this show because, you know, I think America First means different things to different people, and you know, in light of what's happened over the weekend, we've just gone into another war that really shouldn't have happened. Regardless of what ends up being the outcome, we really shouldn't have gone and attacked Iran. This is something that, you know, neocons and warmongers have wanted for as long as I've been alive. And this is one of those things that everyone always was like, no new wars. The whole one of the main points of the political movement when voting for Trump was, we're gonna close the border, we're gonna deport people that shouldn't be here, we're gonna not start any new wars, we're gonna focus on the country, America first, and you know, whatever else you wanted to tie to it, going after corruption, going after the people in the Epstein files. He did make it a point that he would do that. So what is America First? I take it very literally when asked that. When I think about the question, I take it very literally. America First is to put America before any other country, and that should be in every aspect. When it comes to your stupid ass state is one of the big three forcing this right now, by the way. OS level age verification laws. Yes, I know California is known for very dumb things. But back to what I was saying. America First, you should take it very literally. It's supposed to be putting the United States first. It's supposed to be putting our country first, and that should be in every aspect. That should be in the aspects of trade. It should be in the aspects of foreign conflict. It should be in the, it should be our interest with, the crime statistics here. Like, it should just be everything. It should just, America comes before everything else. Oh, something's going on in Canada. Well, if it's going to divert resources from what we got going on over here, no. Like, that it should be as simple as that. But somehow there's a ton of people, and it's not just a small group of people that have now been convinced to repeat the tagline, "Trust the plan." I'm still waiting to find out what the plan is. What is the plan? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what the actual plan is at this point? I thought the plan was to finish building the wall. Deport people that aren't supposed to be here. Close the border. I mean, we did close the border as far as we know, as far as the numbers that are given to us and are publicly available to us, we've closed the border. But as I've pointed out, I mean, like, you can shut off the tap, but all the plumbing is still there. All the pipes and everything, the faucet can still be turned on. All the mechanisms for the flow is still there. Just because you turned it off doesn't mean the problem just magically, can't just be turned back on. But besides the point, like, there's so many different things that were supposed to be America first, that were supposed to be about, that were supposed to be the plan. What is the plan at this point? Is there actually a plan? So many people. There's so many people that are like that are supposed to be a part of the America First, MAGA, Trump supporter, like all these different movements that are supposed to be like right wing and stuff. A lot of them just, they just repeat "trust the plan" and they meme over it and stuff like that. And I'd find it ridiculous. What's the plan? Is the plan to not go after anyone in the Epstein files? Is the plan not to go after anyone that, fabricated the Russia collusion hoaxes against Trump, the Ukraine scandal that shouldn't have been a scandal, the BS charges that were brought up against him, the 2020 election? Like, there's a massive list of, scandals or whatever you want to call them that have happened over the last, 12 years. And he's not going after anybody. We're not going after it. Trust the plan, guys. Trust the plan. We're less than a year away now from having the midterms, and Republicans are going to get destroyed, and I think they should. I listened to Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes today, and I happen to agree with a lot of what they said. I can't help but feel more and more betrayed as the months, weeks, and days go on with this administration. By no means do I think I'm not at the point where I'd be like, oh, I regret voting for Trump. No, I guess I had my hopes too high. I don't know. I had set my standards too high for Trump. But we didn't get no new wars. We got the opposite. We didn't get mass deportation. We got just regular deportation. And there's just a lot of the wins that people point to are great. Don't get me wrong. I love the wins that we have gotten. The no biological men and women's sports. That's a great one. Everything RFK Jr. is doing. I always say it. Everything RFK Jr. is doing, a massive win. But I don't know. A lot of it is stuff that can be just overturned by we just need the next president. All they need is the next president. And it's very unfortunate. We got raided by Joey Cannoli. We should be joined by Joey Cannoli here soon. What's up, Dorian, Alistair? What's up, Eternal Spartan? How's it going, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that round table that Joey was hosting. Absolutely great show. I need to go back and watch it from the start. I did catch most of it, but I was kind of listening while I was working, so I got to go back and listen to it. Absolutely great show, though, so everyone should go and watch that. Joey should be joining us here soon. But I'll just continue ranting until then. Joey Cannoli raid. What's up, Viper King? I'm not sure. Has Viper King ever been in the chat? Viper King, you might be new. Hello. But yes, good to see everybody. Thank you for raiding in. Welcome, raiders. Welcome. Right now we're talking about what is America First, defining America First, talking about what actions and what steps can be taken. Hard labor camps for sure. The angry god, nomad angry god. That's hilarious. No, this is my first time here. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Well, hello, welcome. I still don't know what you said to me earlier, but I probably disagree. Okay, well, Gilbert disagrees with you, Nora, unfortunately. And good night, Nora. Hopefully we can get Nora on for one of these nights, but I know we go pretty late. Even though she's an hour behind me, it's just her scheduling just doesn't line up, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, America first. One of the things that I've experienced in pointing out the things that have gone wrong with the administration is getting called a liberal, or saying that I have Trump derangement syndrome, which is absolutely hilarious, because all you have to do is go back through my Twitter to see that I used to argue in massive tweet threads with people about like politics and Trump. Like, it's to say that I have TTS is just kind of funny. I'm more of a realist, and it's not blackpilling either. Joey talked about this on the last show that we were on, that I was on with him. It's not necessarily blackpilling to point out when things are going wrong. It's also not good to always be taking white pills. It's not good to live in this, blissful ignorance of everything's going all right and everything will be okay. You can't always just assume that everything's going to be okay, because that isn't always the case. I mean, things will always carry on. Things will always, time goes on, and it never stops. But to assume that things are going to be okay is just, leaving things up to chance, leaving things up to a gamble. And I was distracted. I lost my train of thought because I see that my guest has appeared. Let me get him in here. Let's see. Wrong friggin' screen. Very professional. Very professional. I want to hear what Joey, how Joey Cannoli. Hello, Joey. Let's
Hi.
Transition over to here. Joey Cannoli, everybody. He was just on doing his gaming roundtable with everybody. He's gonna join me because he wants to react to this clip that I sent him. He hasn't watched it yet.
Nope.
But Joey, before we do that, I just want to get your thoughts. I talked a little bit here while waiting for you about like what it means to be America First, and I just want to know, how would you define America First? What does it mean when you hear America First? What does that mean to you?
It means we have to protect Israel.
Absolutely. Oh no, I might be getting.
That's what it means to me.
Hang on, what did I turn off last time? Was it your echo or your? I know it's auto gain. Is it noise suppression? I think it might be echo.
Explain.
I had to turn off something last time for Joey because it messes with his audio for whatever reason. Okay, there we go. Now talk, Joey.
You have to refresh, I believe.
I did refresh. Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we're good. I don't know.
I think we're good now.
Maybe.
Anyway, no, but seriously, what do you think when you hear America First? Like, because I take it very literally. Like, you put America first.
I think that. Okay, seriously, I think that it means that you're putting America first. But what that really means is we're focusing. I'm aware that like some of the international policy, foreign policy stuff is going to happen because when you deal with these sorts of these countries that have certain strengths that you have to respect, aka nuclear weapons or certain leverage, like you're going to have to sometimes do things that you might not necessarily want to do. But America First means I don't want to hear about international news all the time in the media. I want to see as much aggression be put into domestic policy, and time after time, it's just all the time in the news. I just hear about fucking foreign policy, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I know you were winding down and getting ready to come over here. I was just talking about how I haven't seen a lot of America First, and we keep hearing from people when we criticize Trump that, oh, you're a liberal, oh, you have Trump derangement syndrome, when it's like, whoa, guys, now we're going in the opposite direction. The America First and like MAGA crowd is becoming the Democrats, where it's like you're either with us or you're against us, and it's like, that's not how it is. That's not how this is supposed to be, guys. And then it, it's just interesting. You ask them about any of these things, they're like, trust the plan. And I was asking before you joined, Joey, is there actually a plan? Does anyone know what this plan is, or is it just a meme at this point where you just repeat the line?
They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt of trust the plan right now. They just don't. They don't deserve
really
that benefit of the
don't.
doubt.
I mean, what I keep asking this, what wins do we have that can't be overturned by the next, but that can't be overturned immediately day one by the next administration? What wins do we have? And right now, even if you add up those wins, all I have to say is Epstein, Iran, and just like all the gains from those wins are just fucking negative instantly. It's like, and they talked about it a little bit on Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes, because they Alex Jones did an interviewed him.
Nick's always on his show, like once a week. He's always on.
I noticed Alex really likes him. Now. Really likes him now. Yeah. But
it's very strategic from Alex. He's trying to. Nick has kind of replaced him as that anti.
At the end of the interview, he told him he wants him to. At the end of the interview, he told him he wants him on on Alex Jones's show to host a show once a week.
Interesting.
So that Nick might join Alex Jones' show. But anyway, they were talking about it on there, and this is a massive gamble for Trump, because like let's say, Joey, hypothetically this does work out and we get regime change and everything works out. There's no conflict anymore. We start making trade deals and stuff. It all works out. Then Trump might gain a little bit of favorability, but I don't think the odds are in their favor, you know.
I think there are certain things that he's setting up for, to where if they were to win the House, you might see some things happening. So I do think that he does have a plan, and he's going in with the assumption that they're not gonna. I think he's going the assumption that it's not going to be as bad as people think in these next races, and they're still going to slightly hang on to everything. But that just doesn't seem like that's the case. It doesn't seem like that's the case at all. To me, I think perception is reality, and unfortunately, whether he's setting up things to potentially be a checkmate in the second half of his administration, it doesn't matter if you don't get there. So I think a lot of people perceive it as they fumble the bag, and people are gonna. I don't know if they'll lose the Senate, but I think there's a great chance that they lose the House, and as all it takes is losing one of them, and then his second term is going to kind of be nothing.
Well, and even if they
disappointing,
and even if we do get in Republicans or people in the GOP, I mean, who's to say that they're even going to be good? I mean, you pointed out some of the people that Donald Trump is backing and stuff like that aren't even good candidates. He's not even backing the good candidate. So it's like, even if the Republicans do somehow pull through the midterms, are we even going to like the candidates? Like.
Yeah, he's backing Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott's been a disaster. He initially endorsed Tony Gonzalez, who he recently
didn't back Brandon Herrera, as you pointed out.
Did we get an update on that? Like, did he win the primary, or did he lose again, Brandon Herrera?
Let's see.
That was today. Last I checked, he was down to like 100 and something. Maybe I don't remember, it was 100 or 1,000, but it was 45% to 40%. So he was tailing the last time I checked. So it would be an utter embarrassment if Donald Trump, who basically endorsed Tony Gonzalez until 2 days ago, it doesn't matter. It's already fresh in people's minds. It would be a disaster of a good candidate like that, because then it's just going to further blackpill people. Like, oh, well, we're trying to primary these Republicans, and Trump's actively against us. What are we supposed to do?
Let's see. The only thing I see that he reposted was 4 hours ago. Says, gun rights champion forces Tony Gonzalez into a runoff.
Interesting. So they had a runoff. Okay.
Yeah, now
I
that's
guess
the
that
only thing I
means
could see from 4 hours ago. That's on
interesting.
his X. I can't see anything else right now. I tried to search it up on Brave.
The saga continues.
But things like that, right? Like America First, when I think about America First, I thought it was going to be securing the borders, getting people out that aren't supposed to be here, freeing up jobs for Americans, bringing back industry, tariffing industries that can, that eat up our industry so that we can bring people back here. Not getting involved in any foreign conflicts that have nothing to do with us. Venezuela, I'm a little bit more in agreement on that one. I still I'm not a big fan of it, but I do think we do need to get a handle on the cartels. But that is something that directly affects us and is in our region. Iran isn't in our region. I don't think they were an imminent threat. And you even listen to the statements from Trump, and it's interesting because Trump and Rubio have said absolutely opposite things. I don't know if you've seen this. Trump said,
We went over Rubio's clip today with Jessica. Oh my God, he just outright said, "Yeah, basically Israel pincered us into a choice."
Rubio says Israel dragged us in, and then Trump, when asked, says no, we dragged Israel.
Yeah, wow.
So it's
What can you say,
interesting.
man?
It's interesting how they're diverting on that. Alex pointed out that Rubio may be doing that in case it doesn't work out, so that when he runs in 2028, and they're like, oh, you were with Trump during
God.
Iran, and he's like, no, I said Israel got us into that. Which
Yeah,
is
he could
smart.
be
Hey,
protecting himself.
politics-wise, that is smart to be like, oh, because if it does work out, you could be like, oh, no, that was a slip-up. I meant we did it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, no, things like that. So it is interesting. And what's the truth here? I'm more likely to believe that Israel dragged us into it. Because from everything that I've seen, all of our, government officials say there isn't an actual reason that we entered this conflict other than Israel was going to strike. And if they struck, we feared that Iran would strike them and us. So we struck first, is basically the line that everyone is going with, including Rubio and JD Vance.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
I just like, I don't even know what to say about it anymore. I've kind of beaten a dead horse about this shit. Like, what do we like? What the fuck?
Get ready to talk about it for a while, Joey. Because as I was
I
watching
know.
Alex Jones, they pointed out that JD Vance and Rubio have also both said that could go on longer than 4 weeks. They're already pulling the COVID on us, dude. They're 2 weeks to slow the spread. Just 4 weeks.
2 weeks to slow the spread. I was just
4
about
weeks
to say
slow
that.
the Muslims. 4 weeks to slow the Muslims, guys. 4 weeks, maybe 4 months, maybe 4 years,
maybe
decades,
4 months, folks.
4 decades.
Listen, your president
Guys, we need
loves
a total
you.
lockdown of Iran to stop the spread of Muslim.
Listen, we might lose some American soldiers. That's okay. We might lose some.
That is a sacrifice
But we're doing it for you.
I am willing to make. Got to play the Lord Farquaad meme. That is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yeah, and his I converted to Judaism daughter.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
you don't see that trajectory very often.
It's just really sad to see where it's gone. I said before you joined, I'm not at the point where I'm like, all right, I regret voting for Trump, but like, holy fuck, man, like. We aren't.
I'm disappointed. I don't regret it. I'm disappointed.
I don't regret it. I'm just immensely disappointed at this point because we aren't getting any of what we wanted, getting all of what we didn't want, almost. In terms of Republicans, not when I say all of what we didn't want, I mean like all of what we didn't want that a Republican could have done.
And listen, I get it, like, because a lot of the criticisms people have of the quote America First people is that they're very short sighted about. Issues outside of the United States, but it's like we get beat to death constantly with issues outside of the United States. That's why this shit started in the first place. People are like, holy fuck, bro, what about America? It's like Can they like switch the attention from 50-50 instead of 90-10? Like, can we at least try? Can Donald Trump constantly berate the Senate leader to pass the SAVE Act? Can Donald Trump put pressure on Mike Johnson to stop always bringing this liberal bullshit to the House floor instead of bringing our actual agenda? Like, what are we trying to look like? Oh, well, we're trying to be fair to both sides and let them bring things to the table. No, bro, impose your fucking will. Enough of this shit. Pressure these damn Republican states like Indiana who don't want to do redistricting. You know, the Indiana had what, like a pact with like Virginia that we're not going to do redistricting, and the first thing the Democrats do when they win Virginia back, they redistrict. So he needs to put pressure on these local Republicans to do something, because they'll actually listen to him more so than they'll just listen to the base getting upset. And when he says nothing and he basically encourages it, they know he's not going to say nothing, so they can continue to do what they want because there's no consequences. He's got to speak up and pressure these guys constantly every day, the same way he does Thomas Massey and Rand Paul. But when you only see him doing it to Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's like, where are his priorities?
No, absolutely, Joey. And to add on to what you're saying, is it going to be easier or more difficult when they lose the midterms? Because right now I personally am projecting that Republicans are going to lose the midterms badly. That's my projection. If I'm wrong on it, I will absolutely say I'm wrong on it. But that's what I'm projecting right now, just from everything I've seen. The economy, the decisions that Trump's been making, that's where I'm at on it. Is it going to be easier or harder for them to go and arrest people and start prosecuting people when they lose the midterms?
Of course, harder.
Right.
Of course, harder.
Obviously,
yeah,
harder.
because they're not going to control the House committees anymore. But
so why isn't it happening now? If it doesn't happen now, we ain't going to get it.
The one thing that could potentially save them is celebrating America's 250th birthday. If they have some solid propaganda with that shit, that could potentially save them. But I think it's a long shot. And listen, I'm looking at the rumored UFC card for the UFC at the White House. It's basically set up for these American fighters to get slaughtered. Like, a lot of them are fucking big underdogs. They're going up against like top international guys. It's just peculiar matchmaking. I think it'd be really demoralizing for this UFC event if all the Americans are just getting raffle stomped.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like ahead of the America's 250th birthday. You know? Wait,
Yep.
isn't this supposed to be the year of our 250th birthday? Isn't this supposed to be the year
that's what I'm saying.
The year of celebration? We're 3 months in. There's no celebrations.
No, they're going to ramp it up towards once it starts getting to July 4th. That whole like month is going to be complete masturbatory patriotism,
Okay,
and I think that's what Donald Trump is banking on. I think he's banking on that, like he's doing a lot of this stuff, and I think he thinks that if they have solid propaganda, then that's all that matters. I just don't know if it's going to be enough for some people, because some people are going to see through it that it's propaganda.
Some people are. I mean, I don't. How many people are going to see through that it's propaganda, dude? Because I mean, how many people have?
The people. Like, well, think about the base that is disconnected from him. The base that's disconnected from him. Those guys are going to easily see that.
I think this Iran stuff is another like. How many splits is he going to cause? People that are like, oh, it's a nothing burger, conspiracy theorist. We got everything that we could. Like, there's Republicans that say that. And now there's a bunch of Republicans that are going to be like, no, we had to bomb Iran. We had to start this war. Like, it's another split off. And, like, I'm sure there's other smaller splits. But, like, these are two major splits. And it's really going to affect the big tent that we've all gathered under.
And the problem, too, is people, I think, rightly say that, you can't let the left win because it'll be worse. And that's technically true. But the other guys are like, on the same token, like, we keep voting for the right and they don't do anything. So it's almost like, what's the point? And it's the point that I've sort of made. It's like, at some point when nothing is working, you have to say, I have to use my vote as leverage, even if that potentially means the side that I know is worse is going to potentially win. You need to have some leverage against them.
You know, in that interview that I was just listening to with Jones, because they're talking about everything going on.
Are we gonna watch it, or how long is it? Is there cliff notes?
It's like 2 hours long. I do have a clip that I was gonna share with you that we're gonna talk about,
I,
but
well,
uh,
look, to check Alex Jones's Twitter because he uploads the full show and then he uploads the
yeah,
long
I
segment
keep
and then he
talking about it. You
uploads
just
like
want
the
to see clips
clips.
of it now, huh?
Well, no, why? Because I want to hear like the snapshots. And one thing
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to give Jones credit. The one thing that he was always ahead of his time with was recognizing an algorithm. That dude, almost like an hour after his show, he's got each of his 4 hour segments up. He's got interview segments up, and then he's got notable clips up. Like it's crazy how quickly
Well,
him and his team churned that shit out.
so let me repeat what I was gonna say about Fuentes, and then we'll play this clip because he did repost the clip that I sent you. What one of the things that Fuentes said though I thought was interesting is that Fuentes said he's going to start advocating for people to vote Democrat in the midterms, and
Yeah, I
wait,
see
wait,
the game he's playing there.
well, his rationale for that is that he basically is going to use it as a protest vote.
Hmm.
He's gonna protest the Republicans. He said that basically it's what I said the other day when you and I were talking. Democrats are open with their demonic shit. They're like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna love it the whole time. Republicans are like, we're gonna do this, and then they get in, they do the opposite. So it's like, well, yeah, Democrats are fucking evil, but they tell you that they're evil. Republicans are like, we're not evil, but they are, and they just lie to you. And so
Yeah.
what he was saying and what he was suggesting, and I don't know if I'm there yet, but he said vote Democrat, make them lose in the midterms bad, and then maybe hopefully fuck like it's our last fucking chance. Hopefully that wakes them up in time for 2028.
Yeah, I understand where he's going. I think my approach is better than his approach though, because it doesn't make it seem like because that his I've already seen people clip it out of context. Oh, see, he's telling them to vote for leftists. No, he's his rationale is the same as my rationale. You have to, yeah, there's a level of stupidity to it, but like I think my way is much more efficient. It gets the point across better than his. He's basically saying use your vote as leverage and show them that like we're not going to stand for this anymore. I think not voting in a federal election gets that point across.
Yeah,
I've
just
encouraged
you could
voting.
just do no vote. Yeah, you don't have to vote for this. You just do no vote.
Yeah. Why do I hear myself twice?
Oh, probably because you can hear the window. Wait,
What? Yeah.
hang on. That's weird.
Juba jabba ja.
No, no, hang on.
Oh,
I got
I
it.
know. Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, but it's good. Basically, you're using your vote as leverage, essentially. So I think it's more effective to just not vote at all than to vote for the Democrats because, there's that chance that maybe they do step their game up and they do win regardless if you vote or not. But there's also that, like, listen, the best time for them to have done this was in 2012 when they ran Mitt Romney. The Republican voters should have just let Mitt Romney get completely embarrassed. I've made my point before about how you can't always think in the immediate because if Mitt Romney won that election instead of Barack Obama, there would be two issues here. Mitt Romney would potentially have two terms. Other issue is Barack Obama could have ran again in 2016. So I think it was better that we actually lost that election, and I wish the voters would have used their vote as I wish they would have held the Republican Party hostage by not voting for Mitt Romney, but they should vote in their local election. So it would have been a complete rejection of what the party wanted. It would have made them desperate. And then they would realize in order for their survival to be cemented, they need to cater in some sort of way.
And Alistair, we're not saying, and I'm not saying that it would have been better for Harris. Anytime we're talking about criticizing Trump, it's not to say that Harris would have been better. Harris is like the absolutely fucking worst candidate to like compare to. Um, what we're saying is like if both candidates are terrible and like the party that you generally side with is just not fulfilling those promises, instead of doing what Nick Fuentes suggests and voting for the opposite side, if both sides suck, then just fucking don't vote. Just you don't have to vote. That's also an option. You don't have to vote every election. So I think I'm probably in Joey's camp. Come midterms, if the Republicans haven't pulled some shit together, I probably just am not going to vote. I'm in California. It doesn't really fucking matter anyway. But that's
Because
one.
like how many times?
That's one vote Republicans aren't getting in the state if I don't vote. So
See, but that's okay, Alistair. See, that's the thing that the Republican Party takes advantage of. They take advantage of that. If you don't vote for us, then the Dems win. We know that. We know that that's a possibility. But sometimes when you're dealing with the abusive Republican Party that takes advantage of this fact, they continue to abuse their voters because they know you better vote for us or else the Democrats win. It's a very frightening sort of propaganda game they have going, and it's a truthful one too. That's what makes it frightening. But the fact of the matter is they almost don't do anything. So they tell you they browbeat you that you have to vote for us. They browbeat you constantly, and then when you get into power and you don't do nothing, what are we supposed to do? People get frustrated. You have so many of these guys that don't do nothing. It's difficult. So it's almost like one thing I say that the founding fathers did that was spectacular is they realized that if this rebellion failed, they would go from some of the most revered people in history to some of the most vilified people in history. You need to be willing sometimes to be a villain if you're going to try to be a hero, because your version of a hero is a villain to somebody. No, nobody would rather Biden. Nobody would rather that, but we would rather the Republican Party start doing stuff for the people. That's the ultimate goal.
The point here, Alistair, is to how do we show the Republican Party that they can't just not do anything and they can't just not fulfill their promises? One way to do that is to make sure that they lose an election really badly, so that way next time around they're like, oh fuck, maybe we should actually listen to people. What do people want? Like that
You should
is
invite
the
Alistair up to defend himself.
that's the hope there. It's not to say like, oh no, we should just let Democrats win because Republicans aren't going to do what we want anyway. No, it's to say, well, maybe we should give Republicans 4 years of dog shit Democrats, and then maybe after 4 years they've learned their lesson and they're like, all right, maybe we'll do what you guys actually wanted us to do. Like that, it's basically we're trying to figure out ways to teach them a lesson so that they fucking do what we ask them to do. Because right now they're not. Right now they hide pedophiles and start new wars. Like
it's and you know, like I said, it's not even about the fact. I know this Iran thing might have needed to happen. Maybe there was just like something that it was unavoidable. Both the choices was to catch 20 needs to happen, but like they focus so much on foreign policy. They focus so much on this messaging that is kind of confusing. And it's just like you just don't see the pressure domestically. I'm not even saying like some of this stuff can't happen. Why can't they just hold that same weight for domestic policy? That's what the people care about. It's so obvious. The reason why these parties keep going back and forth every midterm, people just care about the domestic shit. They really don't give a fuck about these other countries. You know, they might, say, "Oh man, shucks, that sucks."
yeah,
That sucks. I wish we could help those countries.
People care
But
about
those
how much
people
bread,
care
eggs,
about-
and gas are.
Yeah.
That's what people care about. They don't care about what the fuck's going on in Iran. I've been going to work all week. No one fucking knows what's going on in Iran. People make like alluding jokes to it. Like that's literally it. No one gives a flying fuck what's going on in Iran.
The problem with Rubio's statement, Gilbert, is I have to trust that they're being honest. And I don't trust that they're being honest. So he could say that in a year Iran was going to have the weaponry to make this attack. But how do I know they're not just lying? I mean, they have lied for the last 25 years. Plus, if you consider the Operation Desert Storm stuff, they've been lying about the Middle East and what they have and what they don't have for a long time. So I don't know why, just because it's the Trump administration, that I should automatically trust their word. Have they built up enough cachet with the American people to do that? They haven't.
The Epstein situation alone shows that they have no problem lying to us. But wait, just
the confusing messaging. Why is the messaging so bad?
Just so what Alistair said, he said, but the result is that people, we the people, get Democrats fucking shit up. Yes, Alistair. However, Donald Trump would not have gotten his so-called mandates had Biden not been so fucking terrible those 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
If Biden had not been so fucking terrible those 4 years, you would not have seen Donald Trump get the wave that he got. The point that Joey and I, I don't know if Joey's making the point. The point that I'm making, I'll speak for myself. The point that I'm making is that maybe what Republicans need is just a big fat fucking across the board Democrats to teach them a lesson, and then we'll win across the board Republican. And they'll actually get shit done. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe not even to that extent, but there needs to be some sort of slap in the face that needs to wake them up. And 2016, Donald Trump was that slap in the face, but the slap in the face soon realized it was something they could handle. they can't like you have to play the psychology game. Let's assume the left and the right, it's a handshake. They're handshakes with snakes behind your back, and they're all playing a game. If the left realizes they don't actually need the right to play that game anymore, I'm talking about the establishment people. If the left wing establishment realizes they don't need this dog and pony show with the right wing anymore, because look, their voters aren't even enthusiastic about coming out anymore. We don't even need them to play the part. We can get rid of them, cut the dead weight. That's always how these sorts of groupthink things work. Once they can cut loose with something, they do it. So we almost have to pit that psychology against them when it comes to this voting stuff. If the Republican establishment realizes that this is it for our gravy train, they're going to make a deal where it's like we need to show that we still belong. We kind of have to give something to the people. We have to give something to our voting base to stick around and make them earn that trust again.
So
they need to be forced into that position.
And I think this is a perfect time to play this clip here, Joey. So Alex and Nick here are talking about how they kind of feel betrayed in a way by Trump. So let's play that clip.
And I'm watching it sink by its own doing, and so this is horrifying, and so, but I can't sign on to covering up Epstein. I can't sign on to World War III. And so that's why I tried to promote the optimism, because I fucking need this, man. Like, I want to fix the country. I want to turn it around. So it's not that I was delusional. I still hope we can turn it around, but I just... Sorry, go ahead. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. And listen, like I said, I don't think that everybody that supported Trump was being dismissive about these concerns. I get it. You know, we all wanted to believe. I was 18 years old when Trump ran in 2016. And I remember getting in fights with people. This is my whole life, too. At 18 years old, I wore the MAGA hat at Boston University, one of the most liberal campuses in the country, and became a pariah on my college campus.
Something you sacrificed. It's sad to see something you fought and bled for die.
Yeah, and that's my whole adult life. I know that's a huge part of your life also, and now we're witnessing it's totally unraveling. It's an utter and complete betrayal. It's heartbreaking in many ways.
And when I try to salvage it with people, I get attacked as a liberal, which is when these people doing that can't even find Iran on a fucking map.
I love when Jones curses.
I know, but it's funny to hear that from someone like Jones, right? Like someone like you and I, when someone in passing, when they hear us complain about Republicans or Trump, and they're like, "Oh, you're a liberal." Well, it's like, all right, well, people don't know Joey and I like that. But when someone calls Alex Jones a liberal, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. Like, there's no way. There's no way that you could ever misconstrue.
Lost everything in this fight.
Yeah,
he's the one who predicted most of the. If you watch his political documentary, maybe you should watch a documentary called Endgame in 2007. Like, he basically predicted the next 15 years down to a fucking T. Like, this guy knows what's going on, and like all these guys, these same fucking talking heads were the ones shitting all over Alex Jones. Oh, I don't know. They always had to do that qualifier. I don't agree with what he says, but he has a right to say, "Oh, get the fuck out of here." He's been right about so much, and he has been at the stake of his reputation, because some people are like calling him out on it, calling him liberal, because they think that he is sticking up too much for Donald Trump, and he's saying he's doing it because he has to. This is the best chance that we have, and he wants to make sure it's as strong as it can possibly be, and for his own sake. If there's some sort of turnaround and we can, ride the ship and make it better, that helps his chances of all the bullshit that they've done to him to get reversed.
Yeah, he has his own vested interest in it, in ensuring that these corrupt pieces of shit go away. And I'm sure Alex, he has the ear of Trump to some degree. It's probably not like a large degree, They
try to keep Jones away from him. They've been trying to do that.
That's what they talked about in the interview. He said, because Nick and Alex, they were both talking about, and you and I have talked about this, that it's the people around him that are feeding him this bullshit. But they actually, Alex and Nick said it's not that. It is Trump, and Trump is for whatever reason has decided that he wants to go in another direction. Alex even said that like you pointed out, the people around him are keeping his circle tight, and he's not talking to a lot of people right now. And Alex even said that he thinks he isn't releasing the Epstein stuff because he likes having the power over those people.
Interesting.
Which sounds
That'd be
like
an
something
interesting-
Trump would. That definitely sounds like a Trump thing.
It does, but it feels like it's more at the behest of somebody else. I do sometimes wonder who are the closest people to him in his administration. Obviously, Jared Kushner is probably somewhere in the shadows. Stephen Miller. I guess Marco Rubio's found his way in his trust, which anyone who says they're going to vote for Rubio in 2028 just does not understand how this game works.
Yeah, I
I
thought
would never
Rubio
vote
was
for
like
Marco
bad
Rubio.
news. Yeah, I thought Rubio was like bad.
I don't
news.
care. Listen. The ruse, the red herring is that Rubio's doing what he's doing what he's told. That's the thing. They're trying to get what they want is they know JD Vance is most likely going to be the candidate, and what they're looking for at the end of the day is, can we get Marco Rubio to be his running mate? Because then they basically have their Mike Pence for that situation, because we all know that Marco Rubio was one of them, and it's a total Trojan horse what everything he's doing. I appreciate the fact that, you know, if Trump gets his way, I'm aware this is probably some like 9D chess Game of Thrones type shit where he has an idea of something he wants to happen.
I do just have to comment real quick, Joey, because you brought up Mike Pence.
Yeah.
I just have to bring up how I have never watched or seen a man get down on their knees and really give it to another guy like Mike Pence has for Trump on Piers Morgan. It was pretty crazy, especially after the bad blood that's been between them since the
oh yeah, well,
the
you know,
election.
nothing unites the globalists like a good old bombing of a foreign country.
Dude, he did like an interview with Piers Morgan, and he's just talking about how presidential and amazing the action is, and how much he really respects Donald Trump and the decisions he's making, and like it was disgusting the amount of dick sucking, dude. Like,
I said that this guy should be put in jail,
Pence,
but not anymore.
I was like, Mike Pence, you were ready to put this man behind bars. You were gonna you would have testified against him if given the opportunity. Like
Crazy.
But yeah,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, no, I just had to comment on that. But anyway, let's watch the rest of this clip. There's like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, well, what's called for is for us to be sober-minded about the entire thing, you know, because there's a lot of Trump haters.
I've been a realist the whole time, but was hoping, and now I'm just not even hoping. I'm just going to be a realist.
Yeah, I mean,
so what I found interesting about this interview, Joey, is that Alex, you and I are where Alex is with everything. We're not looking for the white pills. We're not trying to black pill people. We're just trying to give you the score of the game.
And really, it's okay to have hope. I mean, we hope for a better future, but we got to be brutally honest about what this administration has become.
Absolutely. So what Nick said there is definitely a point I want to leave on for that clip there. We can preach hope and optimism, but we can't pretend that everything's just gonna be all right if it's not going to be. You know, we got to give people the lay of the land, the score of the game. If things aren't working out, they're not fucking working out, and you shouldn't pretend otherwise. We shouldn't be pretending that all the people on the Epstein list and files are being put away. We shouldn't pretend that America all of a sudden stopped being the child trafficking capital of the world. Did everyone just up and forget that? Like, that never just stopped being a thing. We are still the #1 child trafficker of the fucking world. Did anyone forget that? There's so many different fucking things that are going on, but yeah, let's bomb Iran.
Yep.
Bomb Iran.
It's crazy. It's always the most important thing. And you got these talking heads that doing they were an existential threat to us. No, bro. Like, they might have fucking bombed some of our, maybe they get some missiles in that, you know, bomb some of our like ships, or maybe they shoot some stuff down, but not a single motherfucker in the United States had an existential threat to Iran. The existential threat of terrorism comes from the fact that they won't fucking deport anybody. It comes from the fact that the previous administration let whoever the fuck in. Yeah, they let whoever the fuck in. Donald Trump closed the borders, but they're not being militant enough about deporting all these people. They're afraid to do it. They're afraid of the optics, but they're not afraid of the optics when it comes to foreign policy. But the domestic policy, they're afraid of the optics. They're afraid of how it would look to be mobilizing so many people on TV. Well, you know what's worse? Because a lot of out of sight, out of mind. Once the thing's out of the media cycle, people will forget about it. So they should just be quick about it, not have these lingering riots, or they're going to get all their little constant campaign things. They're going to get their people dying because they're mentally retarded or whatever the hell. They just need to do it, and they need to get it done, and then people will forget about it in 2 weeks.
Rocco in the chat seems very, very charged about the Epstein stuff. Who are you going to charge and for what? In all caps, said it twice. I didn't know you were talking about Epstein the first time. So to answer that, there are a lot of different files and evidence that was collected when Epstein died and when he was, or especially when he was arrested, as well as the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Not even to mention the whatever Epstein would have had on all the different people that he was blackmailing. There's a lot of different exact charges. Dude, exact charges would be rape of children, murder, like all the bad things. It would just be all the bad things. You don't need exact charges.
From a realistic standpoint, though, like there's a lot of rumor and innuendo, and there's not necessarily total exact stuff. But what I'd like to see, and I think most people would be accepting of this because it would be catching some of the Epstein, it would be catching some of the Epstein stuff in the peripheral. You need to they need to be more militant in arresting people that actually deserve to be arrested. I don't understand why a politician or a big corporation owner should be allowed to, like, what is it? Like, oh, well, if you break 10 rules, then we'll finally arrest you. But for the average citizen, it's one. It's disproportionately, it makes no sense, especially coming from the globalists that constantly talk about power imbalances. It's a big power imbalance that the fucking most powerful people can break the law as much as they fucking want. But if you break the law once, if you're caught inside the Capitol, even though you were ushered in by the fucking security, then you're going to jail and you will not have the right to a speedy trial. They will break your constitutional amendments over and over, but they expect us to have some sort of due process or innocent until proven guilty when it comes to them. That needs to fucking change.
Rocco, the problem
I don't know, how do you not arrest Tim Walz? There was like 4 levels of interrupting federal agents from doing their job and deporting immigrants, and they're encouraging citizens of this country to defend people who don't belong here. How is that not grounds for an arrest? I don't get it. Just arrest these fucking people. Bring in the military, go kick in the door, and put handcuffs behind their back. That'll increase morale like a motherfucker. If people saw that. If people woke up at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning and they saw Tim Walz and Hillary Clinton being fucking perp walk with handcuffs on, motherfuckers would have thick, hard erections from that shit.
And I muted the guy in the chat because he just keeps asking in all caps. The charge is whatever crime we can get them on, dude.
Right, and there's a lot of crimes we can get them on. Insider trading. We can get them on a lot of things, bro. Fuck the Epstein shit. There's a lot of stuff to get this shit on.
Why isn't Waltz behind bars? There's a lot of people. If you go back and look at all the different stories and scandals,
cowards, that's why,
regarding like politicians and stuff, there's a lot of different laws that have been broken by both sides over the years, and they don't face charges because they are a public figure or they're wealthy or both. And you know, something that Democrats actually get right, Joey, that I don't see Republicans ever talking about is bail. Why does bail exist? Bail shouldn't be a thing. If I commit a violent crime, I committed a fucking violent crime. If you believe or suspect that I committed a violent crime, prove that I fucking did it or don't. That's ridiculous. To think that I could commit a violent crime and then have a bail set for me, and if I am wealthy enough to pay that bail, I then get to walk free? For a period. I know it's not, oh, you just get to walk free. You have to stand trial at some point. What I'm saying is you should not be able to leave the jail. Like, certain crimes, bail should not be an option. That's another imbalance there, because if you're wealthy enough, you could commit a crime and then get out the next day.
It's all pay to play. That's really what it is. Our court system is pay to play. So many aspects of our society is pay to play.
Know all the loopholes, know all the friends, you know?
So are we done with the clip? Because I still need to eat some. I still need to
Yeah, we're
do
done
a
with the
couple
clip.
of
I'm gonna
things.
wrap up here soon. I wasn't gonna go. We're only gonna go like 5 or 10 minutes longer if you just want to stay the rest of the time.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I
Fine.
wasn't trying to do a long stream. The point of the stream
Yeah.
is what is America first.
I'm
I
gonna
think
wa-
we've gone over a lot of that. It's just a massive disappointment of the administration, man. And Iran is just another one of those big things. Like Epstein was a big thing. This is another big one. If we don't see massive progress by the end of the year on immigration, I will also tally that as another massive fucking loss. Want to hear Joey talk about no Iron Man.
I want to hear Joey talk about big heart erections more. Oh my god.
That's a different kind of show, Iron Man.
Hey, Pelosi should have. I don't know if you could technically arrest AOC on anything yet. Maybe inciting, but that would be stretching it. I do think there's a lot of concrete stuff you can get people on. I don't want to necessarily stretch it. I don't want to make it seem like let's just arrest anybody. I think AOC is just an idiot. She hasn't technically, I don't think, done anything unless I guess she has some sort of insider trading thing too. But it's very obvious with Nancy Pelosi. Maxine Waters saying, we must make them uncomfortable. We must make them be afraid to be shown in public. It's like, whoa.
Well, and that's what's annoying about getting people like that in the chat. The dude that kept asking for like direct charges and names. And it's like, I am very adamant in my belief of innocent until proven guilty. And a lot of the issue with Epstein is all we know is that it was rich and powerful people. That's all we know. So we can only make assumptions based off people that we know were around him and know that could be tied to him in some way. Beyond that, we can't make criminal accusations towards people because we don't actually know. Do I think Bill Gates did something? Maybe. Do I think Stephen Hawking did stuff? It's kind of funny to think so.
I think maybe he watched. I don't know what else he could be doing.
Prince Andrew absolutely fucking did stuff. That man should be charged with some crimes. But it's just annoying to get that in the chat.
AOC was posting about how to avoid ice capture. Okay, yeah,
shit like that. That's
how is that? Could you, Tyler? Scenario: you're in the Revolutionary War. Oh wait, we already have a term for it. Benedict Arnold. If you just fucking help the enemy, what happens? You're a traitor.
Well, no.
It's quite literally that simple.
Let's do it this way, Joey. If I made a video telling people how to avoid having to pay their taxes. Do you think that would go over well if showed to a officer of the law?
No, you'd get arrested for aiding and abetting.
I would get arrested for aiding and abetting. If I made a video describing how to create a explosive device, like there's certain things that you can do and describe to people that aids and abets them breaking the law. That you can't, like, there are limits to your speech, right, Joey? There are absolutely limits to your freedom of speech. You can't describe to certain things to people like how to break the law, or encouraging breaking of the law either. It's one thing if it's like a law you disagree with, you could protest the law, depending on the law and stuff. But actually breaking the law, you have to face the consequences of the law. Like I may disagree with the marijuana stuff, but if you're caught in a state smoking marijuana, maybe you shouldn't be in that state that has that law, But it's things like that absolutely does baffle me. It doesn't make sense. They should not be above the law. They should be arrested, impeached, and replaced. Like, you break the law, you're a citizen just like me. Just because you're a public servant shouldn't put you above me. But evidently it does. And encouraging people to do it. I think that's the big one. Not just telling people how to break the law, but also encouraging them to do it is I think the big one.
I think it's easy. There's at least a handful of Democrats we can arrest tomorrow based off of the things that they've done. With that being said, though, I do have to eat. Man,
yes.
I don't know.
Where can people find you, Joey?
Joey Cannoli. I think I'm at 800 followers now, so we'll have to set up this sleep stream somehow.
Absolutely. Guys, go follow Joey Cannoli if you are not already. Also, drop a follow on my stream.
I'm thinking about for the sleep. Yeah, I'm thinking about for those sleep stream of leaving video open, so anyone who knows how to get in can get in and just talk on my stream while I'm sleeping.
What if I just like pop in and scream obscenities?
I won't hear it, but the chat will.
Okay. Well, hopefully Nora will be around to clip it.
That's true. Somebody would have to clip it.
That'll be the biggest thing is you'll need someone awake watching you to clip things.
Hey, I mean, you could at least do the clip thing. Like she could do the clip thing through like, well, whoever can just clip whatever they want in the thing, and then she can go check the links of those clips, and then she could still make clips from them.
True.
Sleep stream. Yep, I'm doing a sleep stream. I don't know how I got bullied. I think it was probably
Ooh.
Alistair's fault.
Wait, I have
don't
an
know how I
announcement.
got bullied. Uh-oh.
I have hit 900 followers. Thank you. Thank
There
you,
you go.
everybody.
After
Fuck
being
yeah.
stagnated at 880 for like 3 months, you
Dude,
finally
you saw
hit
that?
900.
You saw that shit?
I know. I noticed it. I was like, man.
Dude, it's the past
he's
2 weeks.
very busy.
The past 2 weeks, me trying to be more consistent has definitely paid off. I've noticed it in all the numbers, all the metrics.
Hey, listen, I got to give Melted Mind credit. I got to give Melted. He said if you're not consistent, it's pointless to do, which is why he doesn't do it because he's not consistent. But he's right. You got to be consistent.
Absolutely. But
yes, VDO, and we will all virtually hand and warm water you. Oh my god,
interesting.
I don't know how to go about the sleep stream. I think what I might do is I might do like nightcap, and then I might like
go to sleep
raid
after
to you, and then maybe you could raid to me. I don't know what am I even gonna add everyone? What am I gonna do? I got to look up what the e-girls do when they tag their videos for sleep streams.
Right, and then like. What you got to do is you got to set it up so that when people rumble rant, it sets off like a loud fucking noise, or they could pick the noise, you know? Oh no, you need to do that before you set up the stream. When people send in a rumble rant, they could like it. No, it can't be a rumble rant. They have to be able to like send a link. I know I've seen other streamers do it. You know what I'm talking about.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put the volume through my headphones. So I'll have my microphone on for if I get up and I want to like yell like what the fuck or something, you know. So what I'll do is I'll have it come through my TV, the volume. So I'll have my volume somewhat high, I guess. So whenever somebody does something, like if somebody follows here, really fucking loud. And then I'll try to set up the Rumble Rant alert to be something better than "shut up and take my money." I'll have it be like something annoying. Like, do you remember the one alert that a lot of Twitch streamers had years ago, where it was the guy yelling? It was like, "Ah! Ah!"
Thank you, Jerry.
I can do that.
Well, hang
and
on,
I'll never sleep.
Let me add a little timestamp over here to clip that. And
an hour and 3 minutes.
I know, right? No, I think I have seen that, but like a lower volumed version. But stuff like that, stuff like that is absolutely something. Is like what you need for the stream, like people, because that would definitely add some activity to it. Because like, what if you get woken up by someone sending in a video message and it says something just absolutely out of pocket hilarious. And then that would kind of encourage viewers to like
that's right. I gotta leave the TTS on.
Yes, that absolutely needs to be on.
Oh, Alistair set up blurps. Okay, I know what he's talking about with that one. Okay, I'll talk to you, Alistair, tomorrow.
No,
I still got to set up when I'm going to do this sleep stream. I don't know when I'm going to do it.
That sounds great. That sounds like it's going to be great.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm going to sleep and end the stream in 4 hours and take a nap.
Yeah, don't you only sleep like 4 to 6 hours anyway?
Well, not if I'm getting interrupted. I mean, I basically wake up every 30 minutes anyway, but if I'm getting woken up, like, watch this be like my most profitable stream by like a country mile.
Yeah, it should be a good 6 to 7 hour stream. I just love that. By the way, just to point out before you go, I just love how much, because I was listening during work. How often during your video game discussion, go back and watch it. How often, count it, that 6-7 fucking came up, and like you guys just kept passing over it. And I was like, dude.
I wasn't, because I was I was trying not to do the typical nightcap. This was a different thing. It was the first time I've ever done like a structured show.
Mhm.
I actually had topics, and then I thought of topics while we were on certain topics. So I started with 10 topics, and then we ended with like 16 topics.
Mm.
But I counted twice Spartan say 6, 7. I was like, "Ugh." I like held back. It's like, must joke.
No, I heard it. Yeah, I felt like I heard it quite a few times during your show tonight. I thought it was.
Yeah, I probably
it's quite
said it.
funny.
I probably said it as a wink for like certain people, like Endel, like, oh, 6 or 7.
Dude, I do find it absolutely amusing how often that number comes up, just like not even on purpose.
Me and Motley, when Nora and Boucher are asleep, me and Motley have been watching Twilight Zone, and through season 1, we've heard 3 instances in the show of them saying 6 or 7 in regards to something. Like, there's got to be 6 or 7 people out there.
It's just a popular.
We've got to be 6 or 7 miles away from land.
It's just a popular sequence of numbers. I don't.
I know, but like, and then me and Sean did the Money Masters documentary, and Woodrow Wilson's like, it would be great if we had 6 or 7 people who made all the decisions for the world. I was like, wow, okay. So he started it. I'm just saying, Woodrow Wilson started the meme. The 6, 7 equals the Illuminati. There you go. Clip that shit.
Wow. All right, Joey, get out of here. You got to go eat. Guys, go follow Joey Cannoli, Rumble, and X, of course. Go check him out. He just did, like we were just talking about, he just did his gaming roundtable. Really good. Go watch that if you don't want to go watch Ashelon, because we're going to raid to Ashelon. So if you don't want to watch Ashelon, go watch Joey's gaming roundtable. I thought it was a really good discussion.
Ashelon the Great. All right. See you guys.
All right, that was the great Joey Cannoli. I hope all of you enjoyed the show tonight. I thought we had a really good conversation. I do appreciate the guy that came into the chat earlier. I did mute him for the stream just because it's just distracting to have people doing all caps in the chat, especially when he's asking a ridiculous question. He just didn't like the answers that we were giving. And that's fine. I love having people to argue against me in the chat, but there's respectful ways to go about that. So anyway, I hope all of you have a wonderful night. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Like the show, reposting absolutely helps a lot. Joey was talking about it on his show earlier today. Reposting helps a ton for coverage and stuff like that on the platform for Rumble. And yeah, like, share, follow. We just hit 900, so thank you guys so much for helping me hit 900. That's awesome. Only 100 more to 1,000. That's fucking awesome. Let's go. 100 more to 1,000. We can get there, guys. We can get there. Help me get there. Help me reach that goal by liking, sharing, and following if you haven't already. And again, go follow Joey Cannoli, good friend of the show. Could check him out with his co-host Ruby Nora, who sometimes is also on the channel. But yeah, have a great night, guys. Go check out Ashelon. Show him some love, and have a fantastic night, everyone. Later. I'll see all of you tomorrow.